What's happening here? It's very bright. Oh God, it's so bright. I think some of that is just I have like a bright. It's bright outside. I don't even need the lights. I don't know how to make this better. I'm so white and so bright, like my skin, my shirt, so white and so bright. That's the Christmas spirit, I guess. I don't know, man. This is an ugly look, but I guess we just have to deal with it. I don't really have a good curtain behind this. I just don't usually get so much direct sunlight, and if you can't tell, I don't get a ton of direct sunlight. So I'm gonna drink the Spindrift, the reason for the season, Spindrift, sparkling lime made with carbonated water, lime juice, and lime extract from limes. And I'm going to do a Christmas Eve stream. I think it might just be me today. A cloud just came in front of the sun briefly, and it made it quite nice. I might move my desk here a bit. Hold on. Mm. If anybody's watching, bear with me, I guess. Just more broadly, like bear with me, like in general. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Energy saver is on. No. Plug in. Is my computer charging? What is happening right now? Okay, it is charging. No? Why are you not charging? What's going on here? Hold the phone. Boy, oh boy. This is going to go great. My computer's screen is going on and off. Power is not plugged in. Plug in. There we go. What you can't see is that my computer is having a hell of a show right now. It's having a real hard time. Energy saver on, energy saver off. I don't know, man. It looks like it's charging. Bear with me. Every time I move it, things fall apart. So let's just go ahead and deal with the brightness. Every time I try to move this thing, it becomes a problem. So yeah, anyway, I don't know why I chose to do this. I didn't do any prep for today, even more so than usual, even less so than usual. I'm going to hold this like this. I'm going to be like the master of ceremonies. You know what's one thing? Stuff's dropping all over the place. You know what's one thing that I wish we did more of is around Halloween when we talk about events and all that, we should say instead of the master of ceremonies, we should say the monster of ceremonies. I think that's something that I was just thinking about would be a nice addition to things. Oh my God, Marty McNinja's here. Merry Christmas Eve. We made it. It's Marty McNinja. Please, apologies for how how bright I'm being. Bright, if not in spirit, in clothing. So let's go ahead and do some manuals. Marty McNinja, thank you for joining. I think it might just be the two of us. Christmas Eve. I wasn't going to do anything, but then I missed it last week because it was down at work. But hope that you are getting ready for an amazing Christmas Eve. Thank you for popping in. We're going to read some Konami manuals today. I don't have a good reason. There's no good holiday tie-in. There's nothing like that. But I really like I like me some Konami from the NES and Super Nintendo era. So I figured let's check it out. They got some good art and I think some strange content inside. Some strange contents within. Also, I guess depending on how highly visited the stream is, and Marty, you might be the recipient by default. I was going to give away 2 copies of a game called Shogun Showdown, which is a very cool. I guess it's like a roguelike deck builder, but that's a bit reductive. It's this really cool thing where you have a little like ninja guy or a Ronin guy on a space. You can move one tile at a time, and depending on what cards you have, you can do different attacks. It's extremely satisfying, very crunchy. It looks great. It sounds great. I adore it. And I was trying to play some other games last night, and instead I just wound up playing that. So it's very cool and very fun. So I'll be giving some of that away later. And again, Marty might just come to you by default, but let's see what happens. Either way, maybe Marty. You know what, Marty, you're gonna get a copy regardless. Marty's getting a copy regardless of what happens. But let's read some manuals. Let's just check them out. I don't know. That's all right. This is a show where The metrics are how much fun we've had and the fun we made along the way, not the number of eyeballs. That's what makes it fun, is that there's no pressure to do anything, including. Uh, no. You're gonna get it anyway, Marty. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it because you popped in and because you're a cool dude. I am going to give you a copy of this game anyway because I want you to check it out. I think it's neat. I don't know. Give it a try. Anyway, pop in, and if you gotta go, I totally get it as well. I'm gonna. I as mentioning earlier, I was just helping the kids do some homework, so I didn't accomplish anything as it pertains to setting this up. So I don't think the screen is going to work right. So bear with me. I'm going to move on over to the reading section. Yep, didn't work. There we go. Nothing there. I got to go into my browser. Right now I'm playing around with OBS, which is very exciting. Let's look at Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania 4. A confusing title as far as I'm concerned because it's actually just Castlevania 4 or Super Castlevania 1, but not Super Castlevania 4 as far as I'm concerned. So the graphics, the art on the cover here is from Konami's. He wasn't in-house, I guess, but sort of their standard bearer for box art, a guy named Tom Dubois, who has done some amazing work. It's all very, very specific to these Konami games. Tom Dubois did amazing things, so we'll see this a few times, but check this out right here. There's a lot of action going on. I gotta be honest, I wouldn't want to be this guy. He does have a whip, but like this dragon's pretty scary. He's gonna go fight freaking Dracula, which is even scarier. There's a skeleton down here. That's not cool. So that's what we have to contend with today as we read the manual for Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. We'll zoom in a little bit in a second, but congratulations, you now own Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Another hit in the Fantastic series from Konami. Maybe this is why I was thinking about around Halloween we need to have the MC be the monster of ceremonies. They would say things like, I hope you're having a fantastic night. And blooders and sisters, I guess we could say as well. So there you go. Blooders and sisters, boys and ghouls, you have the newest hit in the Fantastic series of Konami. We suggest that you read the following instructions before stalking the demons of the night. Scary stuff. You got your intro, you got your how to play, beginning your quest. The password screen controls the whip, the levels of fear, and the weapons of choice. So you know you're in for a good story. Evil lurks in the darkness. In the small country of Transylvania, there is a legend which says that every 100 years the forces of good mysteriously become weak, and the forces of evil gain a foothold into our world. Tell me about it. The evil manifests itself in the form of one of the most feared characters to roam the earth, the vampire Dracula. Every 100 years, Dracula is revived and grows stronger and stronger. His goal, if you knew this is going to happen, if you know that this is going to happen, feels to me like something that you could get out in front of. We got Flashback 64 pod in here. Happy holidays. We made it. We're reading about the powers of evil becoming stronger and stronger. But luckily we have a Belmont. That's something that not to get too political, but I do think that if instead of Merrick Garland, Joe Biden had actually hired a garland of garlic, is that a thing you can do? Then what's happening right now would have never happened. Regardless, if he had brought somebody in from the Belmont clan instead of Merrick Garland, I think that 2025 might look a whole lot different than it currently does. But good to see you here. Spindrift commentary of the week. We got DevPods GG in the chat. Holiday stream. Almost missed it, figuring it'd be an off week. Yes, it would have been an off week, but I took last week off. And as you had pointed out to me, that I had forgotten to do that last week. So it's a makeup stream, but I also figured, what the hell? Might be kind of fun to celebrate the reason for the season video game manuals from the Super Nintendo and NES era. Specifically from Konami. So this is a Konami-themed episode. His goal is to turn all Draculas, that is, yes, Belmont 2028. His goal is to turn all humanity into creatures of darkness, to be ruled under his iron fist. This is why he introduced social media to everyone's daily diet. He has appeared in this world many times. And there are many people who fear that in his next appearance, he may be unstoppable. There is one group that has always been around to see that Dracula is defeated. The Senate Democrats, nope, the Belmont family. For generations, the Belmonts have passed along the secrets and skills of vampire hunting to the eldest child of the family. While many of the Belmonts have lived peaceful lives without encountering Dracula, they remain prepared. There are occasional skirmishes with lesser monsters, but the Belmont clan has always emerged victorious. Now 100 years have passed since the last battle between Dracula and the Belmonts. Transylvanians are reporting mysterious sightings of odd creatures appearing under the cover of darkness. As spring approaches, the citizens prepare for a traditional celebration. Unbeknownst to them, an evil group of people is holding a ceremony in the old destroyed abbey outside of town, attempting to revive the Prince of Darkness. As they carry out their ritual, a dark cloud descends over the countryside. The sinister group stirs itself into a frenzy of mysterious chanting and pagan dancing. Then lightning strikes the abbey. The ground bucks under their feet, and the abbey walls shudder. Once again, Dracula is revived. It is time once again, for Simon Belmont to call forth the powers of good to aid him in this battle. Armed with his mystical whip, his courage, and the centuries-old knowledge of Belmont family training, he sets forth on his mission. And there's a cool little picture. I like that. I think that's good. Duke Donuts is here. Welcome, Duke Donuts. Merry holidays. Happy break. Happy holidays. Merry New Year's. We got it. Yes. And yes, that's right. Christmas is a time of year, as DebVodGG says, where many people get video game manuals, some even their first ones. That's right. I remember Christmas 1989. I got my Nintendo Entertainment System. I have the video somewhere around here. And I remember ripping that thing open, and we couldn't figure out. My parents couldn't figure out how to connect the Nintendo to the TV. I love my parents. My parents are wonderful. They're such caring, amazing people, and I'm so grateful to them. It really is a joy to be able to live nearby them and see them on a regular basis. They'll be coming over for Christmas tomorrow, many years later. And I got the Nintendo, and they didn't know how to set up the Nintendo. That's what I was going to say. They were terrible at technology. I love my parents. Not so good with like plugging stuff in or connecting things physically. They have other gifts. Gift of Gab, for instance. Not really so much gift of setting up a Nintendo Entertainment System on Christmas Day. So while we waited for the technologically savvy uncle to call us back to tell us how to plug it in, I just poured over the manuals that were in the system box. Even just like, the setting up the system manual. Nothing exciting in there. No Simon Belmont for me, but it was an amazing time. So yes, kids getting their first video game manuals. Lucky for them. You've got how to play. This is important. The adventure is centered around Simon Belmont. As Simon, you'll whip your way through 7 horrific levels, haunted by some of the most fearsome ghouls you've ever encountered. And if the creatures along the way weren't bad enough, each time you reach the end of a level, you'll come face to fang with a really gruesome boss character. Defeating the boss of each level reveals a ball of light that you must grab to replenish your life gauge. Early orb involvement in video games. I appreciate that. We got some nice orbs to contend with. The Konami manuals from this one to Mystical Ninja, all of these are imbued with like some character and lightness and brevity, I guess, throughout the whole thing. And that's one of the things that makes me really appreciate them. I was trying to figure out who made them. Darren Hupke Festivus stream. I don't have, well, that's not true. I was going to say, I don't know that I have too many too many complaints. What is it? I don't have too many grievances necessarily. I was going to say that. That's not true. Plenty of grievances. I just didn't line any up to think about them. So if I think about them while we're streaming, I will air my grievances. But in the meantime, I'm not airing my grievances. I'm sharing my free fences. Nope, I got nothing. I can't do anything. I'm sharing some manuals from Konami. How about that? I was trying to do something clever and cool, but I couldn't. So I'm going to take a sip of Spindrift to buy me some time Time is on your side. The life of the party. Simon begins the game with 3 lives. And everybody who's just joined, again, at the end of the stream, I will be giving out a couple of copies of Shogun Showdown on Steam, which is a dope video game that I love, that I wish more people played. So anyway, when the game is over, Dracula and his minions are free to roam the earth. You don't want that to happen. That's true. Time's on your side. For now, he has a limited amount of time to complete each level. If time runs out before you defeat the evil boss for the current level, then you lose 1 of Simon's lives, which tells me that time is categorically not on your side. It is against you from the very beginning. Get a life, Simon. Boost Simon's life gauge by capturing food items that appear after you've blown out a candle or defeated an evil enemy. Other items add new weapons and other bonuses. These will be explained later. I like that. Yes, so I tried to figure out who wrote the manuals for Konami, because there is a specific voice throughout all of them, is what I was trying to get to earlier. And nobody seems to know. I think there's somebody online, somebody on Blue Sky had suggested I check in with Tom Dubois and see if he has any insight into who might have been doing that. And maybe I will. I think that'd be kind of cool. I'd be down to meet Tom Dubois, but I'm not sure he wants to maybe, I don't know, maybe. I was going to say, I'm not sure he wants to receive messages from a random fan. So we'll see what happens. But to this point, I have not been able to find out anything about who may have written these manuals. Konami, the publisher in the States, I don't know, but they have a lot of fun. Defeating, Duke Donuts points something out. Defeating neutral and good enemies do not provide food. There's a lot of talk about the evil enemies and the evil bosses. I'm starting to get the sense that maybe Simon is the bad guy, because we're doing a lot of convincing here that these bad guys are in fact bad. We are trying to manufacture consent against the bad guys in Castlevania. And it might just be that the Belmont family is up to no good. The password is, you'll be allowed to see a password after losing. Thank you. It's an honor. You'll be allowed to see a password after losing all your lives, and then selecting the end option. The password you are given can be used when you return to the adventure. It will catapult you to the level at which you left. You'll be starting the level with none of your previously earned bonuses or power-ups. So that's pretty good to know. You'll be allowed to see a password. Guiding Simon's adventure. Guiding Simon is fairly easy. Press the control pad in the direction you want to move him. To use the whip, press the control pad and the B button in the direction you want to crack it. It's pretty cool that you can also make it just sort of swing around in this game. Very cool use of technology. When the whip comes down, Simon has found an ancient tome left to him by his ancestors, revealing the secret of the whip. In it, he learned... Is the music not on? Oh, it is on. It's just very quiet. I gotta fix this. Folks, I'm so sorry. It's so boring to just hear me. Oh, yeah, Duke Donuts points out, so as not to appear as a random fan, this is talking about Tom Dubois. Leverage your professional and industry stature. That's right. My industry stature. To mislead him into believing that I have some professional interest before dropping the ask for manual history stuff. Yes, that's right. Mr. Dubois, I was looking at your LinkedIn profile and really appreciate the work that you've been doing lately at Insert Company. May we please connect? Simon has found it, and then immediately after, who wrote these manuals? It's not only a powerful weapon, but a useful means of transportation as well. There's special rings that Simon can latch onto with his whip to swing over areas that are too wide to jump across. It's pretty cool. If you hold the B button down, and boy, oh boy, folks, this is a story as old as time, folks. If you hold the B button down, the whip goes limp after snapping, and you can wave it around by using the control pad. It'll still do damage to your enemies, but not as much as a good, strong snap. So just keep that in mind, folks. Holding down the B button makes that whip go limp. You can still hurt people with it. Very important to remember. You can still do damage with a limp whip, but it's not as strong as a good hard crack. Talking about video games, reaching new levels of terror. Speaking of a limp whip, reaching new levels of terror. You get level 1. Thank you. Rodane is this bad guy. I'm wondering if it's Rodane because he doesn't have any hair, so he needs Rogaine. They couldn't do that. Simon Limp Whip Belmont. That's right. You've got Medusa. Medusa is topless, so this game is rated M for mature. Level 2 over here. Level 3, you've got the Orphic Vipers. I don't like Pewixil. He's real gross. Level 4. Level 4 is a great level if you want to get motion sick. The background kind of moves around constantly. Level 5, very pretty. You got Coronaut. It's hard to see. I enjoy this. The Dancing Specters, Paula Abgul and Fred Scare. Very nice work. Very nice work. You got level 6. I'm zooming in a little bit for y'all. Ba-ba-ba. You got to make sure you don't have a limp whip when you're fighting Paula Abgul and Fred Scare. You got level 6. You got Sir Grackle. Hello, Sir Grackle. Level 7 over here. Level 8, the Monster. You got the Zap Bat. And you got level 9, Zap Bat. He stars in Scrubs, one of my favorite actors. You got Akmodan 2. Never seen Akmodan 1. Level A, and then level B next to Slagra. And then after you fought Slagra, you've got Dracula with an exclamation point. So there you go. Darren Hupke. Medusa, Hardly Noah. Yep, that's right. Dracula. Damn near killed her. We got the weapons of choice. Dracula. There he is. In addition to the mystical whip, you can find other weapons hidden along the way. If you want to vanquish Dracula for good, you'll need all the help you can get. You got your watch, which stops most enemy actions. Your dagger destroys a target object. The axe is slow but powerful, attacks in an arc. Your firebomb burns anything on path. Boomerang, powerful weapon, goes across the screen and returns to your hand. So the game is based canonically actually in Australia, not Transylvania. That was just something that they did for localization. Small heart, 1 shot per weapon. Large heart, 5 shots per weapon. This, which doesn't seem to have a name next to it. I don't know if Nintendo didn't allow this in the manual. It's kind of interesting here. There's absolutely no description of what this is. It appears to be a cross pendant. Destroys all enemies on screen, but I know Nintendo had some weird stuff around religion. So there you go. Invisibility potion renders you safe from harm for a few seconds. We could all use that. You got the Morning Star. Great website for stock tips, by the way. Increases the power of the whip in 2 levels. Short chain for first level boost, longer chain for the second level boost. So if you got that limp whip and the Morning Star, you've got a longer chain to work with. Money bag awards you with points. Double shot allows the use of throwing weapon twice in a row. Triple shot, same thing 3 times. Small pork chop partially revives lost power. Large pork chop revives more lost power. You can find those in candles. You got a magic crystal capture from boss characters at the end of each level. And the 1-up adds an extra life. And by the way, we've got some more of Dracula's ghastly underlings. Viper Swarm, Skeletal Knight from the cover, Snapper Casket. You've got Mr. Head instead of Mr. Ed. Right. So whoever wrote this manual was steeped in 1950s and 1960s pop culture, right? So we're talking about someone who's at least 75 years old here. We got Mr. Head, Cruella, the Merman, and the Claw. So there you go. The blue pill does upgrade the whip, Darren Hupke, yes. If you listen to the official podcast for this video game manual, all the ads are for Blue Chew, and that really helps Simon Belmont. So can't fight Dracula with a limp whip. Okay, there you go. Konami. It's a registered trademark of Konami Co. Limited. Castlevania 4 is a trademark of Konami Co., but not Super Castlevania 4. I don't know what the deal is with there. And the official seals are a trademark of Nintendo of America, 1991 Konami Incorporated, all rights reserved. And this is actually from the Nintendo website. So when they did the Nintendo Minis, they uploaded these honestly really gorgeous scans of the manuals. Like, look at this. I don't want to swear on Christmas Eve, but it's pretty fucking cool. That's what, when you're a grown-up, Santa doesn't have any power over you anymore. So you can say anything you want. You can say swear words, and he's not even going to get you in trouble. No, yeah, Mr. Ed was still on Nick at Night at the time. It's true. And that's how I knew Mr. I loved Mr. Ed. As a kid, for some reason, I had terrible taste, and I liked Mr. Ed specifically because, according to my parents, it had a laugh track. And I was obsessed with the idea of a TV show with a lap track. It's not a show with a lap track. That's for Simon. That's for Simon and his limp whip. I'm talking about a laugh track. Let's move on because I'm struggling to Say the words I want to say. Let's look at a Nintendo game from Konami. This one is going to be a little bit harder because it's one of those kind of... The scan is not so good, and I'm going to have to kind of scooch back and forth. But I want you to know, dear viewer, now, it's a little late for Christmas, but maybe for right after Christmas, or you might be able to go find a store right now. You can get $10 off. You can zap $10 off the price of the laser scope from Konami. You can arm yourself with the most advanced high-tech tactical advantage available today. You team up with Laser Scope, the ultimate secret weapon from Konami, and you can use it on this game, Laser Invasion. Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna really change how this page works, so hang tight. It's gonna be a little small, folks. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna be a little bit small for a minute, okay? All right, bear with me. Konami Co. Inc. Limited warranty. Congratulations, folks. It's great news today. You are now the proud owner of Konami's Laser Invasion for the Nintendo Entertainment System. We suggest that you read the following instructions thoroughly before playing with firepower. Down here, we've got some cool stuff. The table of contents is helpful. In addition to Simon Belmont's Limp Whip, we've got the Goon Squad. So Konami getting out in front of the gooning craze a couple of decades early. Very exciting stuff. Thank you. This gooning reference brought to you by Spindrift. The official drink of gooning. Sorry. During this techno-scorching hot summer offensive, you must remain cool under fire. I'm going to try to zoom this a bit more because it isn't letting me do it. So hold on. Let me adjust. Let me put my mic down. Drop the mic. All right. I'm going to do something here. Control. Ay, ay, ay. Nope, that's not it. Alt. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to bring this to the front. Watch this. Order. Move to top. And then I'm going to move this. This is just I'm being in order. Move to top. Great. Okay, this is a little bit better, right? We can sort of see this a little bit better. All right, Goon Squad. Goon up. During this techno-scorching hot summer offensive, you must remain cool under fire. And we will. I have faith. Okay, so this one's doing the same thing. Let me bring this further this way and do the same thing. Alt. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. Thank God we can see these words. So this one is not nicely done. This one is a poor scan, so it's kind of ugly. Who knows what lurks? Just bear with me. Who knows what lurks in the minds of hot-blooded psychopaths? In the case of the infamous chic toxic moron, oil fields, luxury limos, his harem, and world domination top the list. You might have a little bit of a... When we read old manuals, we take them as they are. But I'm, for one, not a fan of infamous chic toxic moron. Unfortunately for the fate of us all, world domination is currently the Sheik's primary motivator, as he prepares to unleash the most devastating weapon ever conceived by mankind, the Techno-Scorch missile. This earth-shattering missile is capable of traveling 37,000 miles in exactly 13.8 minutes, which means no metropolis, not New York, Washington, London, Paris, Moscow, or Evansville, Indiana, is beyond the range of chic, toxic morons' burning desires. They are going on this one. This is a lot. In response to the international crisis, leaders from around the globe have gathered in private to select the one man or woman with the skills necessary to put a halt to the Sheik's ambitions before it's too late. That one gifted modern-day warrior must have the ability to fight on land and in the air. He or she must be capable of making contact with hidden informants, and then be able to decipher their leading or misleading clues. But, most importantly, the chosen one must have the ability to withstand weeks, perhaps months, in a hostile environment, where an intense firefight rages 24 hours a day. And then there's this. Attention, we interrupt this introduction for a bulletin from the world's Joint Chiefs of Staff. The smoke has risen from the UN chimney. The mission commando has been selected. They're doing a conclave. The UN always does conclaves when they need a new mission commando. For security reasons, that name cannot be revealed here. To find out who that person is, check your birth certificate and look for the coded message that appears under the heading Name. It was you! The UN selected you all along. Holy man, this manual. All right, so far it's not so problematic. Let's go. I like that. Who's ready here to battle chic toxic moron? Can't deal with this manual. The main objectives is to infiltrate the Sheik's Sandstorm command center, by Darude, then gather strategic data that will lead you to your destiny, the destruction of the Sheik's newly deployed Technoscorch arsenal. But to accomplish this deadly task, you must have numerous destructive skills, including the ability to wage all-out warfare at the controls of the Army's newest attack copter, the Laser Invasion Helijet. You must also be an incredibly gifted radar reader, ground attack artist, and a specialist in the field of intelligence gathering. Each of these skills will come to play as you risk your rutabaga. That's the military's official code word for life. Battling through 3 brutal modes: the air combat mode, the ground warfare mode, and the 3D confusion maze mode. That was the working title for Turok on the Nintendo 64. Additionally, there's a Helijet landing mode, which can be just as deadly when you consider the hazards of putting a chopper down in an unpredictable and hostile environment. Gotta keep your head on a swivel. Luckily for you and your next of kin, you'll have 3 to 5 rutabagas to spare when you begin your assault. Each time you score 10,000 points, you'll be given an extra one. Naturally, if fate takes a nasty twist and the enemy suddenly has your number, you'll lose a rutabaga. You'll also lose one if you crash and burn one of your precious out of your precious fuel. When all of your rutabagas are lost, your mission will abruptly end. Well, I'm grateful that I didn't set up a drinking game today where we drink every time you say rutabaga. Generally, that would be a safe bet not to have to drink anything at all. But if we were reading this manual after that game got started, we'd be fucked. It would be the end of our rutabagas, I'll tell you that much. Planning your operation. This stuff's pretty good to know. It's laser scope practice. You can do that, which is kind of cool and neat. I love that. Choosing the missile that's right for you. How to continue your assault. That's right down here. Let's look over here. Oops, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Presenting the ultimate in secret weapons. The Konami optical targeting multi-destructive laser scope. Optical targeting lens with crosshairs for accuracy. Voice-activated firing control. Shoot, fire, turbo switch for rapid firing. Stereo-compatible headphones. I think that's important. There you go. When you're looking down the barrel of a loaded rocket launcher, you better utilize every tactical advantage available to you. In today's modern world, that means arming yourself with Konami's laser scope, if only. The voice-activated optical targeting headset. Based on sophisticated jet fighter technology, the laser scope allows you to seek and destroy in ways that you never dreamed possible. Simply make visual contact with your target, zero in on that bad boy, then give the command to fire. Whoa! He won't know what hit him. Laser scope operating instructions. Visually line up the cross-shaped cursor with square targeting sight on the screen, then give the command to fire. If the square is highlighted in white, the laser scope aim is okay. If you're not hitting the mark, readjust the laser scope on your head, making sure it fits correctly, or adjust the monitor brightness so the screen is darker. Note, laser scope can be used with all NES Zapper games. You can sort of start to see how the laser scope maybe had some limitations. Here we go. How to really air it out, the aerial combat mode. I think that's pretty cool. Before you face these fanatical Fizzawapple Lazizas, that's the secret code word for kamikazes. Okay. It's crucial that you select an arsenal of missiles that you're comfortable with. You can choose either 40 missiles, which are great in number, but have narrow aiming range and mild explosive capacity, 20 missiles with an average aiming range and a slightly greater explosive capacity, or 10 missiles with a wide aiming range and incredible explosive capacity. It's pretty cool. There we go. It's also critical that you know your control panel and understand the function of each indicator. Thus, the following information should be ingrained in your brain. You got a lot of good information down here. It's important. You've got the landing. If you don't take it seriously, it'll crack you up. The Military Department's Aviation Technology Manual defines landing as a controlled crash, which means if you aren't in complete control of your helijet when touching down, you should probably get out of the flight game and go into something more sedate, like needlepoint or macrame. Yep, so there you go. Get good or go into macrame. Land warfare ho. Don't call me that. After you've wiped out the Sheik's Vulture Squadron, you must land at his Sandstorm Command Center, then utilize all your willpower and firepower to exterminate his Snaggletooth Goon Squad. Again, they're doing so much gooning, their teeth are getting messed up. Needless to say, you won't meet any thinly veiled harem dancers, Jesus Christ, at this war-torn oasis. Video games. Immediately after you land and exit your helijet, the battle will begin. Your only weapon will be standard military issue handgun, but as you pick off pest after pest, you get opportunities to capture additional ammo to replenish your life. Needlepoint catching strays, yeah, rough. You got this object of your desire, bullet boys, adds to your ammo. I love to collect some bullet boys. Heart starter regenerates your lifeline. See, everything in this manual has some sort of cool personality to it. Well, cool personality, but it's got a lot going on. How about that? If you survive the 3D confusion mode, it'll be simply amazing. If you have the brute force and sheer luck to survive the outskirts of the Sheik Sandstorm Command Center, then you must infiltrate his 3D confusion maze. Great. It's great to name a section of your video game the 3D confusion mode. Yeah, you got a map, your injury meter, your remaining bullets. You got your controller over there. If these guys have anything to say about it, the Sheik will inherit the Earth. You've got Captain Yes Sir, He's My Baby. Okay. The leader of the Goon Squad, and I don't mean maybe. There we go. This person watched a lot. This person is from the 50s. Taj Sabotage. Watch out, or he'll put a whole lot of hurt on you. You got the Sandman. If he dusts you, you'll never wake up. We've got Yabba Dabba Alibaba. His blades are like an eagle's claws when he swoops down on you. Rip, don't let him get the drop on you. And Kurt Slitagut developed his skills carving holiday turkeys for the Sheik. It's great. Here's some stuff. We've got it's a Christmas themed episode, so we've got Prancer the helicopter, Vixen, Blitzen, Comet, Bronx high altitude bomber. I don't remember that reindeer, but Cloud of Doom aerial mine. Two of Santa's lesser known helpers. You got the T-80 Pharaoh Phantom, the T-28 Sphinx, the Sand Blaster. MTV had a great sports show called Sand Blast. I don't know if you ever watched that. It's a good show. The Watchdog and the Great Pyramids of Firepower. Treat your Konami game pack carefully, and please read this manual before you play whatever the name of the game was. Laser Invasion. I've already forgotten. Laser Invasion, folks. There we go. Let's keep going. I got 2 more manuals to read. Let's check out Skate or Die, Bad and Rad on the Nintendo Game Boy. I like the look of this one. And I'm telling the truth when I say that I chose this one in large part because I really like the cover art on this one. This guy should not be skateboarding where he's skateboarding. There's a lot going on, but just at a glance, this is just not a good place to go skateboarding. I hope he's okay. He's got his helmet on, though, and all of his safety gear, so that's good. Bad and Rad, just like all of us. Congratulations, you now own the cool, hip, jammin' mod bustin' version of Skate or Die, Bad and Rad for your Game Boy. Bustin' feels good. That's the song. I didn't know that was in the. I didn't know that was a lyric in the Ghostbusters song, and somebody online said it like a year ago, and I was horrified by what I was reading. Bustin' makes him feel good, but now I know. Now I know what it is. Yeah, this is a Baby Steps scene. This is just an episode. This is a part of Baby Steps. This guy looks like he could be in Baby Steps. We suggest that you read this instruction manual thoroughly before exploding onto the radical scene. That's good. That's good. Let's read. Let's see what happens. Welcome to Rad City, USA, where tourists and terrorists collide. The twisted town of Vileville, located just to the left of California in the newly founded state of confusion, is in utter shock and disbelief that in this dark and dreary morning, maybe Chic Toxic Moron actually won in the last game, and now we're living in his world. The event that's rocked these way out West Coasters isn't a Richter wrecking shake and bake quake or a blowout jam by the world's loudest heavy metal rap band. No, sir. This mental mash has been caused by the dastardly kidnapping of Miss Ariel, the town's roller queen and the daughter of Great Ben, the last of the legendary Bad and Rad skateboard masters. It's the final straw in a hateful plan conceived by Elrad, the evil one. He's already captured the minds of world champion skateboarders from Singapore to San Luis Obispo. And now, with the last of the skateboard idols frazzled over his daughter's disappearance, the rest of the skateboarding world is his to conquer. Or is it? You see, Elrad and his board buddy Bionic Lester have forgotten about you, Ariel's #1 fan and favorite main squeeze. As heir apparent to Great Ben's legendary status, this will be your big chance to prove your worthiness as the next Bad and Rad skateboard master. And if you can survive Elrad's torturous 7-level training ground and defeat the evil one himself, you'll not only restore order to the wild made in this side of Camelot. So there we go. They've gotten out in front of the idea of rap metal, so that's cool. It's pretty neat. Yeah, this is the origin of rap metal, is my guess. Yeah. So but we don't know who wrote this. Maybe this manual was written by Fred Durst, and we just didn't know it. What if we found out that Fred Durst wrote all the Konami manuals? I bet that's what happened. I hope not, but maybe. There's no way to know he didn't. Beginning your quest for Miss Ariel. To enter Elrad's domain of skateboarding doom, insert the cartridge into the Game Boy, turn on the power switch, then press the start button after the title screen. From here, you can choose the exact location in Elrad's Evil Training Center where you want to begin your valiant search for Ariel. All told, there are 7 wild and crazy levels, 4 entry levels, and 3 bad and rad levels. To progress from the entry level to the bad and rad levels requires an enormous amount of skateboarding skill. To reach bad and rad level 5, you must first clear entry level 4. Then, after you cruise through entry level 5, you can choose bad and rad level 6. And finally, after blasting past entry level 6, you can attempt the ferocious finale of his rescue mission, Bad and Rad level 7, otherwise known as the hyper-intense rampage stage. This is mostly just what skateboarding is like for me, so it's one of the reasons I don't do it. Limp Bizkit, possibly a reference to Limp Whip. Yes, that's right. That's right. These manuals are doing it all for the Nookie. Just ending up gooning at the end of the day. Biting the dust. At the beginning of the adventure, you'll have 3 next to risk. You'll lose one every time your power level shrinks to 0 when you trip into one of Elrad's traps or you fall into the abyss. When all of your 3 lives are lost, the game will end when skateboarders from around the world will laugh behind your back. Oh, man. Smashing an enemy is cake. It's as easy as pie. Just treat him like a trampoline and jump all over him. Then, when you confront a main enemy at the end of the stage, simply cut his lifeline down to 0. P.S. I lied. It's not that easy, but you'll find that out soon enough. There's so much attitude. The writer of this manual is getting real bad and rad. How to gain an extra life? To gain an extra life and increase your chances of survival, capture 1-up items when they appear on screen. Notice how the bonus life points increase by increments of 30,000? You should probably remember that. Yeah, don't forget it. This stuff is like, there's like so much stuff. I can't read all of this. Select button. This once all important button has absolutely no function whatsoever. Who would have guessed? After all, just a few brief months ago, this illustrious button was destined to rank right up there with the famous buttons like the big red one at the White House. Unbelievable. The control pad. Press this guide to your groovy self in 4 directions. The start button. Press the start button to start the game. You can also press the start button during the game to pause and unpause your rescue mission. Press the A button to jump. By performing this airborne maneuver, you can avoid Elrad's blasts, bombs, and other bogus barrages. The only catch is you can't jump or leap when you're dangling a 60-degree bank. The ultimate degree of difficulty. And then there's the B button. Press the B button to duck and crouch. Believe you me, this will come in handy when shooting through sewer pipes and scooting past other low-hanging obstacles. It's definitely the primo way to keep a good head on your shoulders. Pour one out. Pour one out for the select button. Yes, DevPod's GG. This writer is having way too much fun. Like, I've never seen this level of action in the what buttons to press section of a manual. So let's keep rolling. I'm having fun. Left, right, left, right, left, right, the horizontal mode. You'll race through the horizontal modes in levels 1, 3, 6, and 7. Remember to press the control pad left and right to advance and retreat. Up, down, up, down, up, down, the vertical mode. You'll run amok in the vertical mode in levels 2, 4, and 5. In each of these levels, you'll press your control pad up and down to progress and regress. The 7 wonders of Elrad's worlds where no dude has gone before. You've got Roadkill Avenue. Your ultimate objective here is to defeat the Berserk not-so-happy clown. Panic City Boardwalk. To survive this gambling zone, you must defeat the merciless 2-minute and 40-second time clock. The Smelly, Gross, Blecky Sewer. In this repulsively repugnant zone, the Wartmonger stands between you and your destiny. And Bionic Lester's Scab Canals. He's not a union guy. Once again, there's a deadly time clock waiting to stick you with its razor-sharp hands. Scratch and Biff Mountains. In only 3 minutes and 40 seconds, your time will be up. You got the Rat Cave. At the completion of this rabies-infested stage, you'll be greeted by the ever-cordial Bionic Lester. And then finally, the infamous Rampage stage, the final jaws of Elrad's traps. But we're not done. We're going to meet some enemies. Who's ready for some more Tood? I could have finished with this manual. I've got one more, and I don't know if it's going to hold up, but this is something else. I didn't think this was going to be anywhere near. This manual is blowing my mind. It is an early Christmas gift. The Berserk Not So Happy Clown, stage 1. I was reading that as it's like stage 1 clown level. There's many stages to different illnesses. I thought this was the clown stage. Mess with this mentally disturbed flunky from the yuck yuck school of jokes and pranks, and you might end up laughing all the way to the morgue. Mr. Wartmonger. Raised by a pack of wild sewer frogs, this wart for brains enemy will give you the ultimate tongue lashing. Okay. And considering that this froggy's been a courting lovely Ariel, you can bet he'll be in a jealous rage, ready to smash you like an insect. Bionic Lester, stage 6. When he was just a tyke, Bionic Lester made a wrong turn on his skateboard and ended up smack in the middle of a nasty chemical spill. Okay. Somehow he survived, but the good side of his brain turned to mush, while the evil side flourished. Now he's out to impose all of his bad ideas on humanity. That's pretty cool. He works at Anthropic. We got Elrad the Evil One in stage 7. What can be said about the ultimate evildoer of the skateboarding world? Lots. Like he's a crumb, bum, scum, and anything but a chum. Yeah. There's a lot of... we'll just keep going. He also possesses the key to Ariel's freedom. He's young, dumb, and full of fun. Goodies you should grab. The Big Dip. Capture this cream of the crop and add 2 crucial... let's see here. Capture this cream of the crop and add 2 crucial life points to your lifeline. If it's flashing, chalk up 200 points and fully restored lifeline. I like that. I like when they can't just say it's ice cream. It's like, no, we're going to call it the Big Dip. They're having fun. This is a pizza by the slice. The extra sauce and sausage-topped gourmet delicacy will give you the same nutritional benefits as the Big Dip, so chow down, dude. You got canned goodies. Capture these artificially preserved bonus veggies and add 300 highly fortified points to your score. If the can is flashing, count on scoring 2,000 smackaroos. We don't say smackaroos enough anymore. Flesh wound indicators. You got Whopper Chopper, the extremely thorny flower. You got Elrad's deputy dog, who looks like a good boy. And then we've got Sir Slice-A-Lot. More of your least favorite enemies. Scumdrum, Jabberjaws, the horrendous harpoon dude, the big bad rad gun. You got the tire iron. You got Sonic Boomer. And you got the cool cat eating rat. And then finally, you're killing a guy by jumping on his head and giving him terrible, terrible concussions. So there you go. Yeah, big ice cream. Maybe they couldn't say ice cream. Got Jabberjaws, looks right out of country. Yeah, Jabberjaws cameo from Double Dragon 2. I do think it's cool when they give just like concepts of things names like this. Jabberjaws. It's just spikes. It's just spikes. Scumdrum. It's just a drum. Barrel. But yeah, so we got it. And look, no credits. So we have no idea who could have possibly written the manual for. You know what? 1 second here. I'm not going to read Hybrid Heaven because there wasn't that much to it. Maybe if we have time, but we probably won't read Hybrid Heaven. But I was going to look at Hybrid Heaven because it's a Konami game, and it's about Christmas. So I was going to read that, but there was nothing there. So we're going to go to what's the website? Moby Games. Moby Games. Let's look up Moby Games and let's look up really briefly Bad and Rad. Skate or Die, Bad and Rad. Credits? 1991. Cover art by Tom Dubois. Maybe Tom Dubois really is the person to go to because I cannot seem to find anybody else at Konami America at the very least who did this. So yeah, who knows? The cat-eating rat was a little strange looking. Let's go back to him for a quick second. My computer's freaking out. Oh, there we go. I think Moby Games is too much for my computer. Let's take a quick look at the animals at the end. Tag yourself. Yeah, something's going on with the cool cat-eating rat. But you know what? When you're skating in the sewer, what are you gonna do about it? Let's save this Bad and Rad one. You know what? This one gets the Seal of Quality. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ha. Merry Christmas. You filthy animals. Thank you. Thank you to the manual for this game. I loved it. Now let's close out with one more manual. And then I do have a game to give away. But we'll go do this. Gradius 3. Now, I forget the name of the cool fella on Blue Sky who suggested I do Gradius for this, but I think this one has an interesting. This was one of the first Super Nintendo games, right? And certainly it was Konami's first SNES game in the States. So I think they were really trying out, what in the heck their voice was going to be. So, ha ha ha, Merry Christmas. Duke Donuts, back when we used to work together, I feel like we could have gotten a lot of mileage out of the concept of Santa saying ha ha ha, Merry Christmas instead of ho ho ho. We could have probably derailed entire days of testing on Mercs Inc. at Pandemic Studios. Probably would have had to change their name if they had stayed in business. But they didn't stay in business because of Electronic Arts. Okay, congratulations. You now own Gradius 3, The Outbreak. I didn't know it was called that. For Super Nintendo, another hit in Konami's stellar series. We suggest that you read the following instructions thoroughly before launching your adventure. This is from whence it came. In the darkest quadrant of space, there churns the vortex of bad vibes. Bacterium, it has been called, is a malignant mass that has spawned all that is wicked in the universe. Feeding on the suffering of the innocent, it moves like a germ throughout the galaxy, manifesting itself in unspeakably hideous forms. In the past, Bacterium has only had the power to rear its ugly head on a few isolated occasions. That is, until now. Being a good Gradian, your history class in primary school was the first place you heard of the ancient heroic missions to fight Bacterium. You even got a toy warp rattler on your 5th birthday. Those were the days when it was just a chapter in your history book. History is important to the people of Gradius, as is all the higher pursuits of knowledge, art, and music. Gradius has reached a renaissance. Your people are known throughout the universe as a good and peace-loving nation. Who could have known that it would come to this? The ancient scholars prophesied that a day would come when the evil beast would be unleashed after eons of being kept at bay, inflicting a slow and painful death on the entire galaxy. That day has come. Talk about it. Talk about the vortex of bad vibes. After a heart-wrenching journey through the Gradian desert lands, you have come to terms with your fate. It is your mission to save all that is good in the universe. You must defeat the diabolical entities that plague Gradius and the surrounding planets. Fare thee well, brave warrior. Bum, 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 bum. How to play. The people of Gradius see you as their last hope for peace and harmony. They've tapped into the entire Federation reserves to build your $100 zillion starship, Christen Max, which stands for Modulated Artillery Exalter. Like its prototype, the Warp Rattler, Only a pilot of the highest caliber can make maximum use of its power resources. Select your ensemble of weaponry and then launch headlong into the enemy-infested darkness. You'll find that certain weapons are best suited to different conflicts that you'll encounter. As captain, you'll use clever tactics. Okay, don't tell me what to do. In engaging the appropriate weapons to outblast the beasts. Defeat the nasty mayors of each of the 10. I read about this, that they refer to the bosses as mayors for some reason in here. Defeat the nasty mayor. But in fairness, has there been a good mayor? New York appears to be on the verge of having a good mayor. Congratulations to the people of New York and Mayor-elect Mamdani. Hell yeah. Every other mayor seems like absolute dog water. So maybe the story of Gradius can teach us something about engaging with local politics. Defeat the nasty mayors of each of the 10 treacherous terror zones by penetrating the very core of their beings. Maybe it doesn't have that much to teach us about modern politics. I don't know. That's not how I'm going to engage in politics. Hard to go from a limp whip to penetrating the very core of the nasty mayor's beings. Once you conquer a mayor, you'll be... Once you conquer a mayor, you'll be able to access the secret bonus area. This will be a good chance to revitalize your weaponry. You start with a fleet of 3 max ships to use one at a time. Yeah, Duke Donuts, it would probably be effective. Like, listen, nobody wants politics to get to this point, but this is the world that we're living in. You start with a fleet of 3 max ships to use one at a time. You can receive additional ships by reaching certain point totals. If the enemy brings your ship down, you will re-choose your arsenal before going to the next ship. When you start the game, you will find yourself in the same battle area you were just in before you lost it. If the enemy brings down all your ships, the games will be over, but all is not lost. You will have 3 more credits that allow you to continue your game with a fleet of 3 ships each time. Again, if you choose to continue, you will return to the same battle arena where you left off. You can fly solo or take turns defending the galaxy with a partner. Compete for the high score, be aggressive and speed right into your enemy's face to let him know that you can't be intimidated. And most of all, never forget that you are a Gradian. I'm going to see if the select button says anything. Nope. Select. Where is select? Does select do anything? All right. It appears that there's not anything to do with select. So yet again, this powerful button doing nothing. Yeah, the Duke Donut says the 10 treacherous terror zones sounds like some of that convincing ourselves that we're the good guys again. It's true. Yes, we are doing so much consent manufacturing in the manuals today. Before you embark on your noble mission, you must choose your weapons. That's good. Good to know. You can do all sorts of cool stuff to get some ferocious fighting, it calls out. Welcome to the Battlesphere. Hyper power boosting. I don't know. Let's just see if there's anything else in here. I just wanted to read about the mayors. So there might not be a whole lot else for us in here. But, the Terror Zones, a carnival of carnage. Let's read about the Terror Zones. The Dunes of Doom, once the galaxy's wondrous hanging gardens, now infested with evil creatures that failed to water the plants, transforming them into a hanging desert. I hate when my hanging garden turns into a hanging desert. Because I wasn't careful enough with watering my plants. The Carbonation Zone. You've got big bubbles, big troubles, in an atmosphere filled with toxic bubbles and deadly adversaries. You've got big bubbles, big troubles, in an atmosphere filled with toxic bubbles and deadly adversaries. Lava them and leave them zone. Jesus Christ. Don't be deceived by innocent-looking space weeds. Camouflaged enemy battle stations tend to drop in unannounced. Make it past them and tempers will really flare up. We're talking Molten Nightmare. Pop Rock Monolith Zone. So we've got Pop Rock. We've had Rap Metal today. Vandals have desecrated one of the galaxy's most sacred relics, the great stone monoliths of prehistoric Easter Island. Now they are nothing more than Death Ring missile launchers. You got the Light My Fire Zone. You'll really be under the broiler as you make your way through lashing flames, tunnels, and past satellite-sized scorpions. We got Bacterian's Garden. This is not the place to stop and smell the roses. These poisonous posies will try to turn you into life-size plant food. The Greased Lightning Round. Greased Lightning. You'll be catapulted through a labyrinth of electronic circuitry, which houses the evil one's data bank control. Mayors on parade. There we go. The mayors are on parade. These are sentences Darren Hupke says, these certainly are some sentences that were written down. Don't expect, God, I love these books. I love these manuals. Don't expect any live TV coverage for this grotesque gallery of gargantuan grand marshals. Stick to your guns. And you'll be the one to rain on the parade. Mayors on parade. What a phrase. The Gauntlet. No benevolent mortal being has made it past this horrific monstrosity yet. The brave ones who have tried have either returned as complete basket cases or have never been heard from again. And finally, Bacterian's Lair. Here you will face your ultimate nemesis. You must destroy the cold black heart of Bacterian himself. If you do, you're sure to receive a hero's welcome. If you don't, we can all just kiss life as we know it goodbye. So no pressure. Take on those mayors. I am in love with the phrase grotesque gallery of gargantuan grand marshals. We got the enemy hall of blame. You got the enemy hall of blame. Cirque Kill, Toxic Bubbles, Cankerzor, Zoink, Serpentine, Link, Yang, Molar, Bubble Mite, Quad Gaggle Monolith Voss, Gladys, Pupatron, Vector, Spore, and Bazooka Head. Oh, we get to meet the mayors. Mayors who would know. Why are they called mayors? What's happening? Why is this happening? Why are they called mayors? Mayors who would never win a popularity contest. Yeah. These are all just the safe centrist bets that we select when we're choosing a mayor. This is what happens after too many years of the lesser of two evils. Earwig Scorpion, Bubble Brain, QB2B, Mega Monolith, Two-Headed Scorched Serpent. We got Bulbous. We got Beacon. We got Monarch, Ice, Grim. We got Shadow Dancer, and finally Bacterion. So all these guys are not getting my vote. There we go. And that's it from Konami. Konami is a registered trademark of Konami Co. Limited, and it's a trademark of Konami. There you go, 1991. If you all have any questions about this game, actually, you can quickly give a quick call. I don't know if they're open on Christmas Eve. Probably not. But maybe. They're over at 900 Deerfield Parkway in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Game counselor line, area code 708-215-5111. Again, that's 708-215-5111. And that's going to be it for the reading. Now, the last thing I want to do is I'm going to be sending a code to my pal Marty, who joined at the beginning, but I'm going to get 2 more codes because they are, I believe, before I promise this, let me make sure that they're actually on sale. Hang tight for one moment. I'm getting a lot of text messages. Steam, and I'm going to look at Steam. So Steam code, what I'm looking up here is Steam codes for Shogun Showdown. Shogun Showdown. And my Steam is not working, which is exciting. Let's see. Will it load? No. Let me force quit the app and start it up again. Hang tight, folks. Oh my God. Is Steam down? Hold on. I'm going to do it on the computer. Shogun Showdown. It is currently on sale for 50% off. Yes. Okay. Great. I will buy 2 copies, if anyone wants it, of Shogun Showdown. And there's a few ways we can do this. If anybody doesn't want a copy of it, please let me know, and that's okay. If everybody does want it, we will just go ahead and do a number generator thing. So let's do this. Number generator, 1 to 100. Okay. And I'm going to screen share one more time. And I want everybody who was interested to give me a number in chat from 1 to 100. And we'll see what happens. But why would it be this? Why would minimum be, no, just 1? This is stupid. 100. There we go. So let's test and see if it works. Okay. Darren Hupke's going to pass. Okay, it works. And if not, I'm happy to just give it to folks. I really like this game. So this is a game that is just something that I think I don't see enough people talk about. It's so fun. It's got such a great vibe to it, and I really dig it. So I'm just excited to be able to give it out. So if anybody wants a copy, I'm going to give out 2 to the folks who are on here. So if anybody does, let me know. Otherwise, if folks want to just bounce, that's okay too. I'm going to give it another 10 seconds or so. This is one of those things that probably works better when you have like a lot of people who are like maybe don't buy as many video games as all of us do, because I presume that we all probably buy the video games that we want when we see them, right? So how about this? I'm gonna go. My kids are upstairs making some strange noises, and I want to make sure that the house is still in one piece, and then I'm gonna go take them out to a playground before we go to Christmas Eve dinner in a little bit. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody here for popping in, hanging out throughout this year. This has been a weird year. If you would like a copy of the game and you're watching the stream, please message me and I'll make this thing happen. How about that? In the meantime, y'all are awesome. This year has been weird and tough, I think, in a lot of ways. I know for me personally in some ways, right? But then also just like generally with the world. So having the opportunity to hang out with all of you is dope and awesome and rad, but not bad. And I know that together we can fight against the LRADs, the bads of the world. I know that we can fight back against any toxic morons, be they sheiks, be they presidents, be they weird podcasters. We can do it. So y'all are awesome. It has been good to hang out, Duke Donuts. Thank you. DevPods GG, thank you for hanging. We skate together, we die together. Rad boys for life. That's right. Poppin' music and poppin' stream, Darren Hupke. Everybody's right. Y'all are awesome. Have a cool time. And I guess I'll probably do one more on New Year's Eve. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, goodbye. That's how we say goodbye on the show. Bye. I'm gonna go Road Blaster now. Bye.